Yo, welcome to the top Billin Villains post-game show presented by the folks over at BetUS. Much love to those guys. I know there's not going to be a lot of love going for this particular video here because I know how that fan base, the Seattle Seahawks fan base is when the Seahawks lose. And man, this was one that is a head scratcher that made me say, what just happened? Now, listen, there are some really great Seahawks fans out there. I enjoy chopping it up with you guys. You know what I mean? Much love to everybody out there. All my real top Billin Villains out there, right? Then there are some of you guys who are just lost in the sauce. You can just tell that you have no actual football acumen. Some people saying the Seattle Seahawks are a lock to win the NFC West. Stuff like that, right? Now, this has nothing to do with the actual team. No fan actually plays for the team, no matter how much they think they do. You pay for the Seattle Seahawks. Those guys actually play for the Seattle Seahawks, if you get what I'm saying there. The Seattle Seahawks, while a 3-0 start is dope, no doubt about that, right? You play who's in front of you. You still have to put things into perspective. Like I said before, everything is week by week is a building process. You have a guy in Mike Macdonald, Coach Macdonald and his guys, right, band of brothers there. Those guys are just new on the block. We just don't know about those guys. We can see the building of something potentially special, though, right? There's no doubt about that right there, but they have to prove it on the field. This game does not prove that on the field. This game makes me say, right? I said before, will they be looking ahead to that San Francisco 49ers game? Because that doesn't make sense because you lost the Detroit Lions game. So that means you don't have a win over a team with a winning record. Now you have a loss to a team that does not have a winning record, the New York Giants. Now, people want to play the injury game. No Uchenna Nwosu, he played, got injured again. No Boye Mafe, no Byron Murphy. Reek Woolen ended up going out a couple of times as well. So you had Nehemiah Pritchett falling in for him, filling in for him, right? Falling as well. And then I can't really think about anyone else, right? Jerome Baker played. Big Leo Williams was out there. You had Julian Love playing. So the New York Giants, right, should be the New Jersey Giants. Those guys were missing both Malik Neighbors and your man Devin Singletary. Malik Neighbors, in my opinion, may be the most talented receiver in the entire NFL. I've been trying to tell people about this dude, right? All he continues to do is impress. He wasn't out there, so I don't want to hear anything about an injury. This is not coaching your team up and not being who you should be. Now look at this. Geno Smith, 7 sacks. That is a glaring weakness, the offensive line. I've made it a point to talk about Geno being able to escape pressure. There are going to be some times where you're just not going to be able to do that. You're going to have a dominant defensive line. And I said that in the BetUS community post there. The Giants are extremely talented up front. Dexter Lawrence and those guys, the edge players, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau and those guys like that. Those guys are sick. Azeez Ojulari, right? Nunez Roches, these guys like that. Come on, man. What are we doing here? Those guys are damn good. The offensive line from Laken Tomlinson, Anthony Bradford, Stone Feet Forsyth, even Charles Cross at times, right? Man, it was looking pretty bad across the board. So 28 out of 40 for Geno Smith, 284 yards, 1 touchdown, 7 sacks. You know what I mean? That's bad. But for this right here, your leading rusher was Geno Smith with 4 carries for 72 yards. Ryan Grubb flubbed. He absolutely messed this one up right here. Now, to his credit there, they weren't unable to really get a rhythm there. You had to fumble again by your man DK Metcalf. You have various drops again. This play I thought was incredible from your guy Grubb at Geno, straight up. I knew there was a breach. I had to see where it was coming from. And then my first thought about this was it has to be one of the guard spots, right? It has to be one of the guard spots. And, of course, it was Laken Tomlinson, who you guys always get on Anthony Bradford. Laken Tomlinson is terrible. Horrific. I told you guys before, if you don't see me talking about somebody and they come from the Jets or the Eagles or something like that, here's a reason for it. Laken Tomlinson is bad. They need Oluwatimi to try his hand and fill in. Just like they're rotating at right guard, why not rotate Oluwatimi? You going to keep putting your hand on the stove? What the fuck is that about? That doesn't make any sense to me right there. But Geno Smith's poise and his, you know what I'm saying, the cojones to be able to stand in the pocket, bang, right? You know what I mean? He's fertilizer straight up, and he still has the ability to deliver this bad boy. The ball was still in his hand when he was getting hit. Look, the ball is still in his hands, and he's getting hit. That strength right there to throw that and still be extremely accurate with it to Jackson Smith-Njigba right then and there. I was like, oh, the Seahawks about to come back on these boys. And then they end up getting a stop on defense. The defense was terrible to me. Getting smoked in the run game again, right? Now, I don't want to say nothing about the defense. I don't want to hit people's mouth and shit. They're going to be talking about they missing so-and-so and all that. All right, cool. No doubt about that there. But the secondary was intact for the most part, right? Even when Rick Woolen was out there, my man Lieutenant Dan, because he has legs, was giving you guys the business without Malik Nabers. Going to Theo Johnson, going to guy, you know what I'm saying? My man Darius Slayton, right? Remember this team I used to cover, right? It was one of my first covers ever, and I covered it even on the channel, but I covered it even prior to YouTube. The New York Giants, one of my absolute favorite covers, no doubt about that. So I know this team like the back of my hand as well. And Darius Slayton and these guys, you're talking about working with guys, no number one receiver out there, and they're still able to do the damn thing. And that's with Lieutenant Dan, who people are always down on, just like they are with Geno Smith, but he's talented nonetheless as well there. But then you move on to this right here. Wait, speaking of, right, I know I'm still going to have some Giants fans on the channel, right? And I would be remiss, because I know how those guys are, if I didn't talk about this play right here. Now, had they lost, they would have been banging the channel down talking about how they believe Nehemiah Pritchett right here pass interfered, right? So on the transition right here, right, you got to flip those hips, man, right? Darius Slayton, slippery dude, man. He does reach out and grab him, right? You can tell he kind of panicked, right, on the transition right there. Now, it's a tug of the jersey. It's a tug of the jersey. There's no doubt about that. I don't think it impeded his progress. He shouldn't have done it. It wasn't called. But this is right here, I think, what people are going to be talking about right here. This was probably missed, right? It's not probably. This was missed. No doubt about that right there. This definitely kind of impacted something, and Daniel Jones throws it a little bit on the inside right there, but he's able to get the PBU. And what do we say? If it's not called, it's not a foul. It is, right? And they say it straight up. This is what we say. If it's not called, you must ball. That is just a fact. It's also a fact that BetUS has you covered, and you might as well pick up your face right now. The San Francisco 49ers rolling into town, also off a loss. So think about that there. You guys want to get in on the action, man. 150% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. All you have to do is use the promo code YouTube150, and you are in there like swimwear. Straight up, man. I'm telling you this right now. Nobody's doing it like BetUS with that 24/7 customer support, 24-hour payouts, and the whole 9. BetUS has big things going on. You guys are going to want to get in on that. So promo code YouTube150. Get to playing today. BetUS, where the game begins. So after that long run by Geno, and that was assisted by my man Smith-Njigba, right? Njigba with the look off, right? Pretending like he was about to catch the bomb. And he had to, listen, we'll get to that on another time, right? I know you guys are going to be sulking and shit like that. So I'm about to get up out of here anyway. You know what I'm saying? For the 2,000-3,000 of you who actually watch it, you know what I mean? You're not bandwagon fans who only watch when your team wins. I just want to know what you guys think about this, right? This was right on Jackson Smith-Njigba's fingertips. And this is something I'll say about Smith-Njigba, to be fair. I get on DK Metcalf's lack of hands or consistency with that. Jackson Smith-Njigba, while being more of a natural hands catcher, to me, still has issues with his hands as well. I noticed that in his rookie year, right? I never really pointed it out, and I've seen it thus far in his second year as well. He will drop some passes that he should have. If the ball hits you in your fingers, man, you got to catch it. You had to have that. I'm fully of belief, had they converted right there on that, it's a wrap for the New York Giants, right? You know what I mean? Then you get the field goal blocked as well. Come on. They return that for a touchdown. That's a tough way to go right there. But Jackson Smith-Njigba, man, he's got to haul those things in right there. So, listen, those are my thoughts on the game. Obviously, we're going to come back when cooler heads prevail. Right, when my real top Billin Villains get back up in here. We'll get into the all-22. Got to dissect that defense, man. They were gashing you guys in the run game like you wouldn't believe. And then, of course, that offensive line again, man. So think about that. That's 2 line of scrimmage things. When people were talking about killing Pete Carroll, right? Just leave Pete alone, right? Leave Granddaddy Pete alone, right? He ain't got nothing to do with none of this shit. People talking about how it's all much better than that. You got to let things play out. Those are line of scrimmage issues. Obviously, they will be solved by well, a lot of it was up the gut, so, you know what I mean? He ain't like Derek Hall ain't playing his ass off. That boy can ball. Derek Hall can ball. And Draymond Jones was out there doing the thing on the edge, right? This was up the gut a little bit. So Byron Murphy, definitely getting him back there. Although Jaron Reed was doing his thing too, but, man, I don't know what to tell you. The secondary didn't look that good. You got Trey Brown out there. Let's be real here. I said it before. You pick a guy that high for him to be a nickel back, and then you have guys who can absolutely do Trey Brown in, it makes, to me, it doesn't make that much sense to me. If you got a guy like Devin Witherspoon and he's that dude, you erase the elite receivers off there. Some teams will have elite receivers as a slot receiver. Most teams are going to have outside receivers there, but you can't argue that he's a jack of all trades, he being Devin Witherspoon. So, I mean, you got to take it how it comes there. But Trey Brown was getting smoked out there. He was community pussy, straight up. So you would have liked to have seen Devin Witherspoon. But, hey, they bring Nehemiah Pritchard in on the outside. So that lets you know what they think about Devin Witherspoon and just having him be a nickel defender. So it is what it is, all right? But, hey, man, Thursday's going to be rolling around soon, so we got to get to work on this right here and really dial this in because the San Francisco 49ers, even coming off a loss, going to be a tough game. It's going to be definitely – I cannot wait for that game, to be honest with you right there. I want to see how both teams bounce back. Line of scrimmage game there. Let's see, you know what I'm saying? Let's see what it's all about, right? But once again, man, much love to everybody out there. All my true top Billin Villains who will watch this rain, sleet, or snow, you know what I'm saying? Rain, sleet, or snow. Watch this when you guys win or lose. That's what I'm talking about right there. Those are the guys who I actually respect out there. So, and I have much respect for people at BetUS. Get on over there, promo code YouTube150 BetUS, doing the damn thing, man. Make sure you tap in and support the sponsors, all right? Big salute.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.